Hey, have you read the latest edition of Public Occurrences? It's all out. The synths? They're coming from a place called the Institute. Apparently, some explorer, don't even know their name, dropped all this info to Piper. It's just incredible. This one lists the top 5 facts about the Institute right here in the Commonwealth. Really, you gotta listen to this. Starting off with number 5, the Institute hasn't always been private about its intentions. Back in its early days, we're talking like the first half of the 2100s, when the Generation 1 synths were still being developed, it was the Institute members who actually reached out to the people of the Commonwealth, trying to help rebuild society. They wanted a better world, and they tried to ensure people that these new synths could be instrumental in doing just that. They could sweep floors, fix walls, deliver supplies, all of the menial labors so that the humans could then get on with the more important things. But the people up above didn't like that. All it did was just bring uneasiness. Lending a hand while you're fixing the car, yeah, that's fine, but how long before these synths become more than that? Start replacing people, taking over communities. So they made themselves very clear that they didn't support what the Institute was doing, and realizing this, it made itself hidden underground. They decided to abandon the people on the surface and just focus on their own projects and their own vision for the future. Number 4, the Institute's primary goal is longevity, and this one really just fits into their overall ideology, but they want synths to be the successors of mankind. When you first meet Father, he tells you that he thinks people are doomed. Not just those on the surface, of course, but underground as well. They've been so heavily exposed to this radiation, their DNA has changed, and probably not in a good way. Now, people can find ways to resist it temporarily, sure, but what about the long-term effects? What if all humans just slowly die off? So the Institute is always trying to perfect the synth for when that time comes. Now, of course, using them now for labor or as soldiers, that's certainly helpful, but they do actually believe in a bigger picture. Unfortunately, their idea that the end justifies the means and their control over the lives of sentient beings, those are certainly subject to moral questioning, but that'll be up to you to decide. Number 3, the people's fear of the Institute came to a tipping point when they discovered the existence of Gen 3 synths, and this was a specific event known as the Broken Mask Incident. 58 years before the game takes place, a man named Mr. Carter enters Diamond City. He goes to the center market, orders a few drinks, starts chatting with the person next to him, and soon a whole crowd is gathering around him, listening to all the stories that he has to tell, until he just stops. A slight twitch gets his eye, his head stops moving, and before anyone can find out what's wrong, he stands up, pulls a revolver out of his pocket, and shoots the bartender right in the face. Uproar, screams, they start to run, but the frenzy continues. He kills several other people before Diamond City security can finally put him down. And after inspecting his body, they find out he was a synth. They were right! This advancement of synths has become dangerous. It's killing people. Now, you can learn that the synth was actually still a prototype and had been released prematurely because the Institute had no intentions for this to happen, but, well, it still did. Number 2, the Institute is responsible for all super mutants in the Commonwealth. See, back when Generation 2 synths were still being built, they felt they were limited with metal synthetic materials. They needed something organic, or at least as close as possible, kind of like synthetic flesh. So they began kidnapping people from the surface, exposing them to the FEV in large test tubes, and then very carefully researching their results, all of these mutations. And this continued for more than 4 decades. Of course, nothing ever came of it, and instead of killing their own experiments, they would release them to the surface to see what they might do, how they would react over time. Now, Virgil, who actually used to be the head of this project for some time, is a very rare occurrence because his brain hasn't yet had that serious degeneration, but that's something that he struggles with every day. Who knows when it might happen? Most other super mutants become these rampaging monsters. So the Institute realized this and had to find another way to create this organic flesh. And number 1, the Institute has the most advanced technology in all of the Commonwealth. Obviously, this ability to create sentient beings that can very easily pass off as real humans it's extraordinary, it's incomparable. It could very well be the greatest feat in the entire world. And they can do it at such a fast rate, too, but it's not just this. They harness the power of teleportation. That's obviously how they're able to hide from the rest of the world. They manufacture energy weapons and armor. They can create genetically modified food that is very clean. It's got no radiation. They can prolong the life of humans with cybernetics. They've got really cool elevators, like some of the best I've ever seen. They even have a reactor that, with your help, can be made to produce more energy than they'll ever need in their lifetimes. Given all of this, is there anything they can't do? Truly, if they have a vision for the future, they can almost certainly make that happen. It really just is up to you, the sole survivor, to decide if you agree with that vision. There you have it. Isn't that something? People all over the East Coast are reading this right now. It's crazy. Hey, are you feeling all right? You're twitching all over the place. Oh, shh.